They're dividing me up like I'm livestock. I can hear them through the thin walls of the examination room. My father's voice, low, negotiated, like he's selling a used car that won't start anymore. He's clean, no diseases, well-trained. He won't cause problems. Won't cause problems. That's what I've become, a problem that needs solving. I'm sitting on the edge of a metal exam table in nothing but a thin medical gown that doesn't close all the way in the back. The air is freezing. Everything in this clinic smells like disinfectant and shame. My hands are shaking, so I grip the edge of the table until my knuckles go white. I've been here before, too many times. Different doctors, same results. Infertile, defective, broken. The door opens. I don't look up. Bomsuk? It's my father. His voice is flat. He doesn't use my name like it means anything, just a label, a file he's ready to close. I force myself to meet his eyes. He doesn't look at me. He looks past me, like I'm already gone. The Luna Council has approved the trade, he says. You'll be transferred to Busan tonight. My stomach drops. Busan? To the Min-Hwa Pack. I know that name. Everyone does. The Min-Hwa Pack controls the southern coast. They're old money, old power, and they're led by three brothers who rule like kings. Triplet alphas, Ji-hoon, Tae-hyun, Min-jae. I've never seen them, but I've heard the stories. They don't take omegas. They don't bond. They don't need to. They have everything. Why would they want me? My father finally looks at me, and for a second I think I see something. Regret. Maybe. Guilt. But then it's gone. They didn't ask for you specifically. They asked for an unbonded omega. You were available. Available. Not wanted. Just there. They're paying well, he adds. Like that explains it. Like that makes it okay. I feel something crack inside my chest. You're selling me. I'm securing your future. You're getting rid of me. His jaw tightens. You have no future here, Bomsuk. No alpha will bond with you. No pack will take you. You're a liability. The word hits me like a slap. Liability. I've heard it before, whispered behind closed doors, muttered by aunts and cousins who looked at me like I was something that needed to be hidden, pitied, erased. But hearing it from him, I'm your son. You're an omega who can't fulfill his purpose. And there it is. The truth I've been running from my entire life. I'm not a son. I'm not a person. I'm a womb that doesn't work. And in a world where omegas are valued for one thing, bearing alpha heirs, I'm worth nothing. My father turns toward the door. Pack your things. The car leaves in an hour. What if I don't go? He stops, doesn't turn around. Then you'll be exiled, and you won't survive a month as a rogue. The door closes behind him. I'm alone again. I should cry. I should scream. I should do something. But I don't. I just sit there, frozen, numb. Because this isn't the first time I've been told I'm worthless. It's just the first time I've been sold for it. An hour later, I'm standing outside my family's estate with a single bag slung over my shoulder. The car is already here. Black, sleek, expensive. Too expensive for someone like me. The driver doesn't speak. He just opens the door and waits. I glance back at the house one last time. No one's watching. No one's saying goodbye. Of course not. I climb into the back seat. The door closes behind me with a heavy, final sound. And then we're moving. The city I grew up in blurs past the window. Streets I've walked 1,000 times. Cafes where I used to meet friends who stopped calling when the test results came back. The university I never got to attend because my family decided I wasn't worth the investment. I thought I'd feel something. Sadness, anger, fear, but I don't. I just feel empty. The drive to Busan takes 3 hours. I spend most of it staring out the window, watching the landscape shift from city to coast. The ocean appears in flashes between the hills, dark, endless, cold. I've never been to Busan before. I wonder if I'll ever leave. When we finally pull up to the estate, my breath catches. It's massive, not a house, a compound. High stone walls, iron gates that open like they're swallowing us whole. The main building sits at the top of a hill overlooking the ocean. It's modern, glass and steel, cold and sharp, like the alphas who own it. The car stops in front of the entrance. The driver gets out, opens my door. I don't move. I can't do this. He doesn't answer, just waits. I force myself to step out. The air here is different, salt and wind. It stings my lungs. The front doors open before I reach them. A woman steps out, mid-40s, sharp eyes, dressed like she runs this place. Bumsuck? I nod. I'm Hae-won, estate manager. Follow me. She doesn't wait for a response, just turns and walks back inside. I follow. The interior is just as cold as the outside. Marble floors, high ceilings, everything white and gray and sterile. Where are the alphas? Occupied, Hae-won says without looking back. You'll meet them tomorrow. Tomorrow. My stomach twists. She leads me down a long hallway and stops in front of a door. Your room. Dinner is at 7. Don't be late. She walks away before I can ask anything else. I open the door. The room is nice. Too nice. A large bed, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the ocean, a bathroom that's bigger than my old bedroom. But it doesn't feel like mine. It feels like a cage with a view. I drop my bag on the floor and sit on the edge of the bed. My hands are shaking again. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what they want from me. And I don't know if I'll survive it. But one thing is clear. I'm not going back. Whatever happens here, it has to be better than what I left behind. I'm unpacking when I hear it. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. They stop outside my door. I freeze. Someone's standing there. I can feel them, the weight of their presence pressing through the wood. Hello? No answer. Just silence. And then, you shouldn't have come here. My blood turns to ice. The footsteps retreat. I'm alone again. But the voice, it didn't sound like a warning. It sounded like a threat. I stand there for what feels like an eternity, staring at the door. My heart is hammering so loud I can hear it in my ears. You shouldn't have come here. The words loop in my head, over and over. Who was that? One of the triplets? A guard? Some kind of test? I press my palm against the door. The wood is cold under my hand. What the hell did I just walk into? No one answers. Of course they don't. I back away from the door slowly, like something might burst through it if I move too fast. My legs hit the edge of the bed and I sit down hard. Okay, think. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was just someone messing with me. New Omega shows up, might as well scare him a little, see if he breaks. Well, congratulations, it worked. I glance at the window. The ocean is dark now, just a black void beyond the glass. I can hear the waves crashing against the rocks below. It sounds angry. I should leave. I should pack my bag, walk out that door, and disappear before anyone notices. But where would I go? Back home? To a family that sold me like I was defective furniture? No. I'd rather take my chances with whoever's lurking outside my door. I pull my knees up to my chest and wrap my arms around them. It's a position I've been in too many times before. Small, invisible. You're not broken. You're not worthless. I've said it 1,000 times. I still don't believe it. A knock at the door makes me jump. Bumsuck? It's Haewon's voice, clipped, professional. Dinner, now. I don't move. I'm not hungry. Through the door. I didn't ask if you were hungry. You have 5 minutes. Her footsteps retreat before I can argue. Great. So I'm a prisoner with a schedule. I drag myself off the bed and change into something that doesn't look like I've been sitting in a car for 3 hours. A plain black sweater and jeans. Nothing fancy. I'm not trying to impress anyone, especially not the creep who threatened me through a door. I leave the room and follow the hall back the way I came. It's quieter now. No voices, no movement, just the low hum of the estate settling around me like a living thing. The dining room is at the end of another long hallway. I can see the light spilling out into the corridor before I even reach it. When I step inside, I freeze. The room is massive. A long table stretches down the center, polished wood gleaming under soft overhead lights. Floor-to-ceiling windows line one wall, showing nothing but darkness and the faint outline of the ocean beyond. And at the far end of the table, 3 men are seated. The triplets. I know it's them before anyone says a word. They don't look identical, not really, but there's something about them that matches. The way they sit, the way they watch me, like predators who've just noticed fresh prey. The one in the center speaks first. You're late. His voice is cold, sharp, the kind of voice that doesn't ask twice. I'm here, aren't I? The words come out sharper than I intended. I regret them immediately, but I don't take them back. The man raises an eyebrow. He's wearing a dark suit, perfectly tailored. His hair is black, slicked back, and his eyes are so dark they're almost black too. Everything about him screams control. Sit. It's not a request. I move toward the table, my legs feeling like they're made of lead. There's an empty chair directly across from them. I sink into it, keeping my hands folded in my lap so they won't see how badly they're shaking. No one speaks. The silence stretches out, thick and suffocating. Finally, the man on the left leans back in his chair. He's dressed more casually than the other two. Dark jeans, a fitted black shirt. His hair falls messily over his forehead, and there's something dangerous in the way he smiles. So, this is the defective Omega. My jaw tightens. My name is Bumsuck. His smile widens. Right, Bumsuck. The one no one wanted. Tae-hyun. The third man's voice cuts through the tension like a knife. He's sitting to the right, quieter than the other two. His features are softer, but there's steel in his eyes. That's enough. Tae-hyun shrugs, still smiling. What? I'm just stating facts. I force myself to meet his gaze. If you didn't want me here, you shouldn't have bought me. The room goes silent again. Tae-hyun's smile fades, just a little. The man in the center, the one who told me to sit, leans forward slightly. We didn't buy you. We acquired you. There's a difference. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize being traded like cattle had such refined terminology. I expect anger, maybe violence, but instead, the man smiles. It's not a kind smile. You have a mouth on you. Yeah, I do. He studies me for a long moment, like he's deciding whether I'm worth the effort. Finally, he sits back. My name is Ji-hoon. I'm the head of this pack. The one who insulted you is Tae-hyun, and the one trying to keep him from getting his throat ripped out is Min-jae. Min-jae nods slightly. He doesn't smile, but there's something almost apologetic in his expression. Welcome to Busan, Bumsuk. I don't know what to say to that, so I don't say anything. Ji-hoon gestures toward the food on the table. I hadn't even noticed it before. Plates of grilled fish, rice, vegetables, soup. Eat. I'm not hungry. I didn't ask if you were hungry. I grab a plate and start putting food on it. Not because I want to, but because I don't know what happens if I refuse, and I'm not ready to find out. Dinner is silent. I eat slowly, forcing each bite down even though my stomach is in knots. The triplets don't talk. They just watch me. It's unnerving, like being dissected under a microscope. Finally, Ji-hoon speaks. You'll stay in the East Wing. Your schedule will be delivered to your room tomorrow morning. Schedule? Training, medical exams, integration protocols. You didn't think you'd just sit around, did you? I don't know what I thought. No one told me anything. Tae-hyun laughs. It's not a pleasant sound. That's because there's nothing to tell. You're here. You'll do what you're told. And maybe if you're useful, you'll get to stay. Useful for what? The question hangs in the air. Min-jae shifts uncomfortably. Ji-hoon's expression doesn't change, but Tae-hyun leans forward, his smile sharp and cruel. That depends. What are you good for, Bumseok? I set my fork down carefully. My hands are trembling again. I don't know. Why don't you tell me? You're the ones who paid for me. Ji-hoon stands. The movement is sudden and I flinch despite myself. He walks around the table slowly, stopping just behind my chair. Let's get something clear. You're here because we allowed it, not because we need you, not because we want you, because it was convenient. I can feel his presence behind me, overwhelming, suffocating. Then why am I here at all? He doesn't answer. Instead, he leans down, his breath cold against my ear. Because I wanted to see if the rumors were true. What rumors? He straightens and walks toward the door. That you're as broken as they say. The door closes behind him. I sit there, frozen. Tae-hyun pushes back from the table with a lazy grin. Well, this is going to be fun. He leaves too. Only Min-jae remains. He stands slowly, his movements careful, like he's afraid I'll bolt if he moves too fast. Ignore them. They're testing you. By insulting me? By seeing if you break. He walks past me toward the door, then stops. Don't. Don't what? Looking back. Don't break. And then he's gone too. I don't sleep that night. I lie in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying every word, every look, every threat. You're as broken as they say. Maybe I am. But if they wanted someone who'd roll over and play the perfect little Omega, they should have bought someone else. Morning comes too fast. A sharp knock wakes me from the half-conscious daze I finally fell into. What? The door opens. Hae-won steps in, holding a tablet. Your schedule: medical exam at 8, training at 10, lunch at noon, afternoon session at 2. Training for what? You'll find out. She leaves the tablet on the dresser and walks out. Great. Love the transparency here. I drag myself out of bed and into the shower. The water is scalding, but I stand under it until my skin turns red. I need to wake up. I need to focus. Because whatever this is, I'm not going to survive it by being weak. The medical exam is exactly as invasive as I expected. Blood tests, scans, questions about my heat cycles, my suppressants, my family medical history. Infertile. You already know that. The doctor, an older beta woman with silver hair, doesn't look up from her notes. We'll run our own tests. Your previous records may be incomplete. They're not. Trust me. She doesn't respond. By the time I leave the clinic, I feel like I've been turned inside out. Training is worse. It's held in a large gym on the lower level of the estate. Mats cover the floor, weights line the walls, and standing in the center of the room, arms crossed, is Tae-hyun. Of course. Well, look who finally showed up. I'm on time. Barely. He tosses me a pair of gloves. What are these for? Fighting? I'm not fighting you. Yes, you are. I stare at him. He stares back. Fine, but when you break my face, don't act surprised. He laughs. Confident. I like that. I pull the gloves on, and the second I do, he moves. Fast. Too fast. He's in front of me before I can blink, his fist aimed at my ribs. I twist to the side, barely dodging. What the hell? Come on, Omega. Show me what you've got. I swing. He blocks it, effortlessly. Again. Blocked. Again. He catches my wrist and twists me around, pinning my arm behind my back. Pathetic. I slam my head back, hard. Fuck! He lets go, stumbling back, hand pressed to his nose. Still pathetic? He lowers his hand. Blood drips from his nose, but he's smiling. Maybe not. Training becomes routine. Every morning, same gym, same pain. But something shifts. Tae-hyun stops mocking me, starts teaching me how to block, how to counter, how to use my size as an advantage instead of a weakness. And Min-jae shows up one afternoon. Mind if I join? Tae-hyun shrugs. Sure, he needs all the help he can get. Thanks. Min-jae is different, slower, patient. He corrects my stance, adjusts my posture. You're stronger than you think. Everyone keeps saying that, because it's true. I look at him, really look at him. There's something in his eyes, something I can't name. Why are you being nice to me? He doesn't answer right away. Finally, he says, because you deserve it. I don't know what to say to that, so I don't say anything. That night, I'm summoned to Ji-hoon's office. I knock, wait. Enter. I push the door open. The office is dark, just one lamp on the desk. Ji-hoon is sitting behind it, reading something on his tablet. He doesn't look up. Sit. I sit. Silence. Finally, I can't take it anymore. Did you call me here just to stare at your screen? He looks up. Slowly. You're mouthy for someone in your position. And you're dramatic for someone who supposedly doesn't care. His expression doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. Careful, Omega. Or what? You'll send me back? Go ahead. I'm sure my family would love the refund. He stands, walks around the desk, stops in front of me. You think I won't? I think you're full of it. For a long moment, neither of us moves. Then, slowly, Ji-hoon smiles. It's not cruel this time. It's something else. Almost curious. You're not what I expected. Good, because I'm done being what people expect. He stares at me, and for the first time since I arrived, I don't look away. Ji-hoon's eyes narrow slightly, like he's trying to solve a puzzle he didn't expect to find. You should be afraid of me. Maybe, but I'm tired of being afraid. His jaw tightens. For a second, I think he's going to say something, do something. Instead, he steps back. Get out. What? I said, get out. I stand slowly, my legs feeling unsteady. My heart is still hammering in my chest. I turn toward the door, but something makes me stop. Why did you really bring me here? Silence. Then, so quietly, I almost don't hear it. Because I had to. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting. Now leave. I walk out before he can say anything else. My hands are shaking again, not from fear this time. From something else. Something I don't have a name for yet. I'm halfway down the hallway when I hear footsteps behind me. Fast. Purposeful. It's Min-jae. Are you okay? Why wouldn't I be? He doesn't answer, just looks at me with those steady, patient eyes. I'm fine. Ji-hoon's just intense. He doesn't mean to be. Could have fooled me. Min-jae glances back toward the office, then at me again. Can I show you something? Is it another test? Because I'm really not in the mood. No, I promise. Just trust me. I shouldn't. I barely know him. But something in his voice makes me nod. Okay. He leads me through a series of hallways I haven't been down before. The estate is bigger than I realized. Endless corridors, locked doors, secrets hidden behind every corner. Where are we going? Somewhere quiet. We stop in front of a door at the far end of the east wing. Min-jae pulls out a key and unlocks it. Inside is a library. It's beautiful. Floor-to-ceiling shelves packed with books, soft lighting, a window overlooking the ocean, a reading chair tucked into the corner. What is this place? It was my mother's. She loved to read. Was? She died when I was 12. I'm sorry. He nods but doesn't say anything else. Instead, he walks over to one of the shelves and pulls out a leather-bound journal. I wanted to show you this. What is it? He hands it to me. I open it carefully. The pages are filled with handwriting. Neat. Elegant. The bond is not a chain. It is a choice. And when that choice is taken from you, it is not love. It is cruelty. Your mother wrote this? Yes. She was an Omega too. I flip through more pages. Stories, thoughts, pain written in ink. Why are you showing me this? Because I want you to know that you're not alone. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through, you're not the first, and you won't be the last. Does that make it easier? No, but it makes it survivable. I close the journal carefully and hand it back to him. Thank you. You can come here whenever you want. No one else uses it. Really? Really. For the first time since I arrived, I feel like I can breathe. Min-jae? Yeah? Why are you being so kind to me? He looks at me for a long moment, like he's deciding how much to say. Finally, because someone should have been kind to you a long time ago. I don't know what to say to that, so I just nod. We stand there in silence for a while, not uncomfortable, just quiet. Then Min-jae speaks again. Can I ask you something? Depends on the question. Do you really believe you're broken? The question hits me harder than I expected. I don't know. Everyone's been telling me I am for so long, it's hard to believe anything else. What if they were wrong? They weren't. The tests don't lie. Tests can be wrong. What are you saying? I'm saying, maybe you should get retested. Here, by our doctors. I've been tested 100 times. The results are always the same. Humor me. Why? What do you know? He hesitates, like he's said too much. Nothing. I have a feeling. A feeling. Yeah. I want to argue, want to tell him he's wasting his time, but something in his eyes stops me. Fine, I'll do it. But when the results come back the same, I don't want to hear, "I told you so." Deal. He walks me back to my room. We don't talk much, but the silence is comfortable now. When we reach my door, he stops. Good night, Bumsuck. Good night. He turns to leave, then pauses. For what it's worth, I don't think you're broken. Before I can respond, he's gone. I close the door and lean against it. What if they were wrong? I don't let myself hope. Hope is dangerous, but the seed is planted. The next morning, I'm back in the medical wing. Different doctor this time, younger, more thorough. He takes blood, runs scans, asks questions I've answered 1,000 times before. How long until the results come back? 3 days. Great. 3 more days of everyone pretending I'm not a lost cause. He doesn't respond, just makes a note on his tablet. I leave the clinic feeling hollow. Training with Tae-hyun is brutal that day. He's pushing me harder than usual, faster, meaner. What's your problem today? You're slow. I'm tired. Aw, poor little Omega needs a nap. You're an asshole. And you're weak. I swing at him, hard. He blocks it, but barely. Impressed? Better. I hate you. Good. Use it. We go another round. And another. And another. By the end, I'm drenched in sweat and my muscles are screaming. But I held my own. I'm done. You did good today. Are you complimenting me? Don't get used to it. We sit there in silence for a while. Then, out of nowhere, Tae-hyun says, "You remind me of someone." Who? Someone I lost. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was a long time ago. But there's something in his voice, something raw. What happened? They left, and I never saw them again. I want to ask more, but I can tell he's done talking, so I just sit there, silent. That night, I can't sleep again. I keep thinking about what Min-jae said. Tests can be wrong. What if they were? What if everything I've been told my whole life was a lie? No, that's stupid. Wishful thinking. But still, I can't shake the feeling that something is shifting. 3 days later, I'm summoned back to the medical wing. My stomach is in knots. The doctor is waiting for me. He's holding a tablet. Sit. I sit. Just tell me. I already know what it says. He looks at me for a long moment. Then, your previous test results were inaccurate. What? Seriously? You're not infertile, Bumsuck. The room tilts. That's not possible. It is. Your hormone levels were artificially suppressed, likely by long-term exposure to a specific compound. What compound? He pulls up a screen on the tablet and shows me. Sterility inducer? Someone's been poisoning you for years. The words don't make sense. They can't. Who? I don't know, but based on the dosage and consistency, it had to be someone close to you. My family. My family did this to me? The doctor doesn't answer. He doesn't need to. I need to go.
Wait. I need to go.
I stumble out of the clinic, my vision blurring. They poisoned me. My own family. They made me believe I was broken. They sold me, and it was all a lie. I can't breathe. I can't. Omsuk. I look up. Ji-hoon is standing in front of me. Did you know? Not until now. They destroyed me. They made me hate myself, and it was all a lie. Ji-hoon kneels in front of me, slowly, carefully. Listen to me. You are not broken. You never were. How do you know? He reaches out and gently lifts my chin, forcing me to meet his eyes. Because I've known since the moment I saw you. What? He pulls back, his expression hardening again. Come with me. Where? Somewhere we can talk. Alone. I follow him, because I don't know what else to do. Ji-hoon's eyes narrow slightly, like he's trying to solve a puzzle that doesn't make sense. You're either very brave or very stupid. I've been called both. He doesn't move, doesn't blink, just keeps staring at me like he's waiting for me to crack. But I don't. Why am I really here, Ji-hoon? His jaw tightens at the sound of his name. No title, no formality. You're here because I allowed it. That's not an answer. That's a power play. Dangerously. And you think you deserve answers? Meeting his gaze. I think if you're going to keep me here, I deserve to know why. For a moment, I think he's going to throw me out. Or worse. But instead, he does something unexpected. He sits on the edge of his desk, close enough that I have to tilt my head back to keep eye contact. You remind me of someone. Who? Someone I lost. The words hang in the air between us, heavy and raw. I'm not a replacement for whoever they were. I know that. Then why am I here? Because when I saw your file, I thought... He stops, shakes his head. It doesn't matter. It does matter. You brought me here for a reason, and I'm tired of being treated like some kind of science experiment. He studies me again, and this time there's something different in his expression, something almost like respect. You're not going to make this easy, are you? Would you want me to? The corner of his mouth twitches, almost a smile. No, I wouldn't. Before I can respond, the door slams open. Tae-hyun bursts in, his face flushed and his eyes wild. We have a problem. Ji-hoon is on his feet instantly. What kind of problem? The kind that involves your father showing up unannounced with half the Southern Council. Shit. I stand up too, my heart already racing. What does that mean? Tae-hyun's eyes flick to me, and for once, there's no mockery in them, just something that looks almost like worry. It means you're about to meet the worst people in our world. Ji-hoon grabs my wrist and pulls me toward the door. Wait, what are you doing? Keeping you alive. I can walk on my own. He lets go, but doesn't slow down. Then keep up. We move through the hallways fast, Tae-hyun leading the way. Min-jae appears from somewhere, falling into step beside me. Stay close to us. Don't speak unless you're spoken to, and whatever you do, don't show fear. You're making this sound like a war zone. It is. We reach the main hall just as the front doors open, and then I see them. A group of older alphas walks in like they own the place, expensive suits, cold eyes. And leading them is a man who looks like an older, harder version of Ji-hoon, his father. The man's gaze sweeps the room and lands on me immediately. So this is the Omega. Ji-hoon steps forward, positioning himself slightly in front of me. Father, you didn't mention you'd be visiting. I don't need permission to enter my own son's estate. This is my estate, not yours. The tension in the room is suffocating. The older man's eyes narrow. We need to talk, in private. Anything you have to say, you can say in front of my pack. His father's jaw tightens, but then he smiles. It's not a kind smile. Very well. Let's talk about your recent acquisition. My stomach drops. Bum-suk is not up for discussion. Oh, I think he is, especially when you paid a small fortune for damaged goods. I step forward before I can stop myself. I'm standing right here. The room goes silent. Every eye turns to me. Ji-hoon's father looks at me like I'm an insect that dared to speak. And who gave you permission to address me, Omega? I don't need permission to defend myself. Tae-hyun mutters something under his breath that sounds like, oh shit. The older man takes a step toward me. You have no idea who you're speaking to. I know exactly who I'm speaking to. An alpha who thinks buying people gives him the right to insult them. Min-jae grabs my arm gently, trying to pull me back. Bum-suk, stop. But I can't. I've spent my whole life being told I'm worthless, that I'm broken, that I don't deserve respect, and I'm done listening to it. Ji-hoon's father stares at me, his face dark with rage. Then he laughs. Broken? Oh, you're more than broken, boy. You're defective, infertile, a waste of space. I know what I am. Do you? Do you know that your own family poisoned you? The world stops. What? Oh, they didn't tell you. How convenient. You're lying. I have the medical records to prove it. Your father and his pack systematically poisoned you for years, suppressed your fertility hormones, made you unmarketable, and then sold you off anyway. My legs feel like they're going to give out. No. Yes. And my son knew. He's known since the day he bought you. I turn to Ji-hoon. He's not looking at me. Is that true? He doesn't answer. Ji-hoon, is it true? His expression is unreadable. Yes. The word hits me like a physical blow. You knew. This whole time. You knew what they did to me, and you didn't tell me. I was trying to protect you. Protect me? By lying to me? Tae-hyun steps forward, his face conflicted. Bum-suk, did you know too? Yes. And you? Min-jae looks away. I'm sorry. You're all sorry. But none of you thought I deserved the truth. Ji-hoon's father watches the scene unfold with obvious satisfaction. Well, this is entertaining. Something inside me snaps. I turn to him and I don't care anymore. I don't care about power, about hierarchy, about survival. Get out. Excuse me? I said get out. You came here to humiliate me, to tear me apart. Congratulations, you succeeded. Now leave. The room is dead silent. Ji-hoon's father looks genuinely shocked. You dare speak to me like that? Unflinching. I dare, because I have nothing left to lose. For a long moment, no one moves. Then, Ji-hoon steps between us. He's right. You've said your piece. Now leave. You're choosing him over your own blood? I'm choosing not to let you destroy what's mine. The words hit me harder than they should. What's mine? Ji-hoon's father stares at his son, then at me. Finally, he turns and walks toward the door. This isn't over. Yes, it is. The doors close behind him and his entourage. The silence that follows is deafening. I stand there, trembling, trying to process everything that just happened. I need to be alone. Bumsuck. I said I need to be alone. I turn and walk toward the hallway. No one stops me. I don't go back to my room. I can't. Instead, I find myself on the terrace overlooking the ocean. The wind is cold, biting into my skin, but I don't care. They poisoned me. The words feel surreal, like they belong to someone else's life. But they don't. They're mine. My own family. I grip the railing so hard my knuckles turn white. How long? How many years did they feed me poison disguised as medicine? How many doctors lied to my face? And Ji-hoon knew. They all knew. Footsteps behind me. Go away. No. It's Min-jae. He stands beside me, close but not touching, looking at him. And what am I supposed to do? Decide if you want to stay. The question hangs in the air. Do I even have a choice? Yes, you always have a choice. Before I can respond, Tae-hyun and Ji-hoon appear in the doorway. Tae-hyun looks uncharacteristically serious. Ji-hoon looks guilty. Ji-hoon steps forward. I'm sorry. For which part? Lying to me? Buying me? Or letting your father tear me apart? All of it. I turn away from him. I don't know if I can forgive you. I know. Tae-hyun speaks up, his voice softer than I've ever heard it. For what it's worth, I'm sorry too. Why did you do it? Why keep it from me? Because I thought if you knew the truth, you'd hate us, and I... He stops, shakes his head. Never mind. You what? I didn't want you to leave. There's something in his voice, something raw. Why? Because you're the first person who's ever looked at me like I'm more than just a weapon. The confession hits me like a punch to the chest. Ji-hoon steps closer. I should have told you, I know that, but I was afraid. Afraid that if you knew what your family did, you'd break, and I... He pauses, jaw tight. I couldn't watch you break. So you decided to lie instead. Yes. I look at all three of them. Min-jae, steady and patient. Tae-hyun, conflicted and raw. Ji-hoon, cold but cracking. I don't know if I can trust you. Ji-hoon nods slowly. Then let us earn it. The words settle over me, and for the first time since I arrived, I don't feel like I'm drowning. I feel like I'm standing at the edge of something terrifying, something real. Okay. Okay. I'll stay, for now. But if you lie to me again, I'm gone, and you won't stop me. I won't. Tae-hyun exhales like he's been holding his breath. Min-jae smiles softly. And Ji-hoon looks at me like I'm the only thing in the world that matters. Almost a promise. You won't regret this. I better not. The tension breaks, just slightly, and for the first time I feel like maybe I belong here. 3 weeks pass. Training continues. Medical tests confirm what Min-jae suspected. The poison is reversible. I'm not broken. I never was. And slowly, I start to let them in. Ji-hoon shows me the parts of himself he hides from everyone else. Min-jae becomes my anchor when everything feels too heavy. And Tae-hyun? Tae-hyun is still complicated, still sharp, but there's something underneath that sharpness now, something that feels like protection. One night, Ji-hoon pulls me aside. There's something I need to tell you. What? About why I really brought you here.
I thought we were past the secrets.
This one, I wasn't sure you were ready to hear. Tell me. He takes a breath. When you were a child, you came to Busan, just once, for a pack gathering. I don't remember that. I know, the poisoning erased it, but I remember. What are you saying? I'm saying we met 15 years ago, and you looked at me like I was the only person in the world who mattered. We knew each other? We bonded, a soul bond, and then you disappeared. I spent years looking for you. Ji-hoon, I didn't bring you here because you were convenient. I brought you here because you were always supposed to be mine. The words shatter something inside me. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't know if you'd believe me, or if you'd feel the bond anymore. I feel it. You do? I've felt it since the day I arrived. I just didn't know what it was. And then he kisses me. Slow, desperate, like he's been waiting 15 years to do it. What happens now? Now, we figure it out. Together. And for the first time in my life, I believe it. But that night I dream of a child, dark hair, Ji-hoon's eyes, and a voice that whispers, in the dream, the bond will demand a price. I wake up gasping, what price? Epilogue, 6 months later. The morning sun filters through the curtains, warm against my skin. I wake up slowly, tangled in sheets that smell like home, like safety, like them. Ji-hoon's arm is draped across my waist, his breath steady against the back of my neck. Min-jae is curled against my other side, his hand resting over my heart. And Tae-hyun is sprawled at the foot of the bed, one leg hanging off the edge, snoring softly. This is my life now. Chaotic, overwhelming, perfect. I shift carefully, trying not to wake anyone, but Ji-hoon's arm tightens around me. Where do you think you're going? Bathroom? Unless you want me to pee on you. Releasing me. Go. I slip out of bed and pad across the room. The apartment we moved into 3 months ago overlooks Haeundae Beach. It's smaller than the estate, more intimate, more ours. After everything that happened with Ji-hoon's father, we needed space, distance from the pack politics and the constant scrutiny. The ocean is calm this morning, gentle waves rolling onto the sand. It reminds me of how far I've come. 6 months ago, I thought I was broken, worthless, a defective omega nobody wanted. Now I know the truth. I was never broken. I was poisoned, betrayed, lied to, but not broken. The treatments started 2 weeks after the confrontation. Dr. Han, the same beta woman who'd examined me when I first arrived, sat me down and explained everything. but because it meant my body was mine again. Not my family's, not some poison's. Mine. Ji-hoon held me that night while I sobbed into his chest. I told you, you were never broken. And I finally believed him. Footsteps behind me. You're up early. I turn. Min-jae is standing in the doorway, shirtless, his hair messy from sleep. Couldn't sleep. He crosses the room and wraps his arms around me from behind, resting his chin on my shoulder. Bad dreams again? No, good ones actually. Yeah? I dreamed about the future, about us, about what comes next. And what comes next? I don't know, but I'm not afraid of it anymore. He kisses my forehead gently. Good, because we're not going anywhere. The bedroom door opens wider. Tae-hyun stumbles out, rubbing his eyes. Why is everyone awake? It's like 6 in the morning. It's 8:30. That's basically 6. Min-jae rolls his eyes, but he's smiling. Go make coffee. Make your own coffee. Ji-hoon appears behind Tae-hyun, fully dressed in running gear. I'll make coffee. You three stop bickering. Tae-hyun salutes lazily. Yes, sir. Ji-hoon swats the back of his head as he passes. I watch them move around the kitchen, easy and familiar with each other. This is what I never thought I'd have. A family. A real one. Not bound by blood or obligation, but by choice. Tae-hyun catches me staring and raises an eyebrow. What? Nothing, just thinking. Dangerous. Shut up. He grins and tosses me an apple from the counter. 3 months ago, Tae-hyun finally told me the whole truth about being my half-brother, about his mother, about the revenge he'd planned before he met me. I wanted to destroy your family. I wanted them to hurt the way my mother hurt. But then I met you, and I realized you were a victim too. You're my brother. Half-brother. And I know that complicates things. It doesn't. You chose to protect me. That's all that matters. He'd looked at me like I'd given him something he didn't know he needed. Permission to let go. Now, he's family. Not in the romantic way he might have wanted once, but in the way that counts. He's my brother, my protector, my friend, and that's enough. Ji-hoon hands me a mug of coffee, black with 1 sugar, exactly how I like it. Thank you. You okay? Yeah, just thinking about how different things are now. Different good or different bad? Different good. Good. 2 months ago, Ji-hoon officially severed ties with his father. It wasn't easy. It meant losing access to certain pack alliances, certain resources. But he did it anyway. His voice in memory. I don't need him. I have everything I need right here. The Southern Council tried to intervene, tried to force reconciliation. But Ji-hoon stood firm. My father poisoned an Omega to cover his own crimes. He's a threat to every Omega in this region. If you support him, you're complicit. The evidence Min-jae had uncovered was damning, not just about what my family had done to me, but about other Omegas, other victims. My father and Ji-hoon's father had been working together, trading Omegas, poisoning the ones who were difficult, selling them off as defective. It was a system, a business, and Ji-hoon burned it to the ground. My family is under investigation now. My father has been stripped of his pack title, his assets frozen. And me? I testified. I told my story, and for the first time, people listened. I'm not a victim anymore. I'm a survivor. Min-jae squeezes my hand gently. What are you thinking about? Everything. How much has changed? How much I've changed? You're stronger than you think. No, I'm stronger because you believed in me. We all believed in you, but you did the work. He's right. The last 6 months haven't been easy. There were days I wanted to give up, days I felt like I'd never heal. But I kept going. I started therapy, real therapy, with a counselor who specializes in trauma. I learned that what happened to me wasn't my fault, that I didn't deserve it, that I'm allowed to be angry, allowed to grieve, and allowed to move forward. I also started writing. Nothing fancy, just a journal, a way to process everything. But Dr. Shin, my therapist, suggested I turn it into something more. Your story could help other omegas, other survivors. Have you thought about sharing it? I don't know if I'm ready. You don't have to be ready now. Just think about it. I'm thinking about it. Maybe one day I'll publish my story, not for revenge, but for healing. Tae-hyun flops onto the couch with his coffee. So, what's the plan for today? Ji-hoon checks his watch. I have a meeting with the new council representatives at noon, but I should be done by 2. Min-jae nods. I'm teaching a self-defense class at the community center this afternoon. What about you, Bomsok? I'm meeting Dr. Han. Final checkup. Tae-hyun grins. And nothing. Just a checkup. You're a terrible liar. Ji-hoon's eyes sharpen, focused on me. Is there something you're not telling us? Maybe. All 3 of them are staring at me now. Dr. Han said if I wanted to, we could start talking about the possibility of what? Ji-hoon's eyes. A family, someday, if that's what we want. The room goes silent, and then Min-jae laughs, soft and warm.
Bumsuck, we already are a family.
I know, but I mean an actual family. Kids, a future. Ji-hoon crosses the room and kneels in front of me, taking my hands. Is that what you want? I think so. Not right now, but someday, maybe. Then that's what we'll do. Someday. Tae-hyun stands and joins us, ruffling my hair. You're going to be an amazing parent. You really think so? I know so. And just like that, the fear I've been carrying dissolves. Because I'm not alone. I never will be again. That afternoon, I stand on the beach, my feet sinking into the cool sand. The ocean stretches out in front of me, endless and beautiful. To myself. 6 months ago, I thought my life was over. I thought I was broken, unwanted, worthless. But I was wrong. I'm not broken. I'm healing. I'm not unwanted. I'm loved. And I'm not worthless. I'm enough. Ji-hoon wraps his arms around me from behind, resting his chin on my shoulder. What are you thinking about? How lucky I am. We're the lucky ones. Min-jae and Tae-hyun join us, standing on either side. We stand there together, watching the waves. And for the first time in my life, I feel whole. Not because I'm healed, but because I'm loved. Not despite my scars, but with them. This is my family. This is my home. And I'm never letting it go. I'm not broken.
I never was.
And I finally believe it.